Well, let's dive into the fascinating world of brain health and neuroscience. Now, when it comes to the depletion of neurons and brain cells in young people, there are a few factors at play. While it's tempting to point fingers at social media and fast food, the story is a bit more complex. First off, let's talk about neurons. These are the building blocks of our nervous system responsible for transmitting information throughout the brain. Unfortunately, as we age, our neurons naturally decline in number. It's a bit like losing those Lego blocks you used to play with as a kid, they just start disappearing over time. Now, when it comes to young people, there are a couple of factors that can speed up this process. One of them is excessive use of social media. You see, spending hours scrolling through endless feeds and engaging in constant digital interaction can actually lead to cognitive overload. This means our poor little neurons are working overtime, and that extra stress can contribute to their depletion. Let me break it down for you in more detail. When we spend excessive amounts of time on social media, constantly scrolling through feeds and engaging in digital interaction, our brains can become overwhelmed. You see, our brains have a limited capacity for processing information and staying focused. Think of it like a traffic jam. If there are too many cars on the road, things start to slow down and get chaotic. Now imagine that each piece of content we encounter on social media is like a car on that road. The more time we spend scrolling, the more cars we encounter. Our brains have to work hard to process all that information, making decisions about what to pay attention to and what to ignore. This constant mental effort can lead to what we call cognitive overload. When our brains are in a state of cognitive overload, our neurons are working overtime, firing signals back and forth at a rapid pace. It's like asking them to run a marathon without a break. This extra stress and strain can contribute to the depletion of neurons over time. Think of it this way. If you have a muscle and you constantly push it to its limits without giving it a chance to rest and recover, it's going to get tired and eventually wear out. The same goes for our neurons. When they're constantly bombarded with information and forced to work non-stop, they can become fatigued and more prone to depletion. But it's not just the quantity of information that's the issue here, it's also the quality. Social media is designed to grab our attention and keep us hooked. The constant stream of notifications, likes, and comments creates a sense of instant gratification and reward. This can lead to addictive behaviors and make it even harder for us to tear ourselves away from the screen. So, excessive use of social media not only puts a strain on our neurons, but also affects our ability to focus, concentrate, and engage in real-life interactions. It's like trying to juggle a dozen balls at once. Eventually something's going to drop. That's why it's important to find a balance. Limiting our time on social media, taking regular breaks, and engaging in activities that promote relaxation and mental well-being can help give our poor little neurons a chance to rest and recover. It's all about finding that happy medium where we can enjoy the benefits of social media without overloading our precious brains. Now, it's not just social media to blame here. Fast food also plays a role. You see, a diet high in unhealthy fats and sugars can lead to inflammation in the brain. This inflammation can damage our precious neurons and speed up their decline. So, when you're munching on those greasy fries or indulging in a sugary soda, you're not doing your brain any favours. Now let's talk about the long-term effects of all this neuron depletion. Over time, as we lose more and more neurons, it can have a significant impact on our cognitive abilities. Memory problems, difficulty concentrating, and even mood disorders can arise. Imagine trying to solve a Rubik's Cube with half the pieces missing. It's going to be a real challenge, isn't it? But don't worry, it's not all doom and gloom. Our brains are remarkable organs, capable of adapting and forming new connections. This is known as neuroplasticity. So even if we've lost a few neurons along the way, our brain can find workarounds and rewire itself to compensate for the damage. To keep our brains in tip-top shape, it's important to adopt a balanced lifestyle. Limiting excessive social media use, eating a nutritious diet, getting plenty of exercise, and engaging in activities that stimulate the brain, like reading or puzzles, can all help preserve our precious neurons. So, while social media and fast food may contribute to the problem, it's important to remember that a healthy lifestyle is key to keeping our brains in good shape.